Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to a look back at Solar Jetman on the NES, a game that was released in 1990 by Rare, the same people who brought you Banjo-Kazooie. Only that's only partially true. It was mostly developed by a company called Zippo Games, who also had a game called Iron Sword, which was a direct sequel to Wizards and Warriors, another Rare game. But Rare took this game over and made it part of their Jetpack series. So remember the game Jetpack? There's also Lunar Jetman and Solar Jetman. And the music is David Wise, and it's awesome. And this guy farts in his little space suit. That's what I always thought as a kid, watching my dad play this. So we're gonna play through like half an hour or so, see how far we get. It's a brutal game. So we got Prelude on here, the first planet with a gravity of 8. You got a password. System 1, Xandor. Diameter doesn't really matter, I don't think. It might be how big the level is. Now, the awesome David Wise music kind of gets into just alien space noises now. I like that, though. So this game is a multi-directional shooter where you fight gravity. You may notice some kind of drifting and, like, when you're watching it, you can't feel how you have to fight it, but it's unique in that concept. And what I want to do, actually, is get hit right now. There we go. Because up here, there's a bonus ring that's easier to get into as the little jetpack guy. Now let's see if I can get all 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they start to close in. Holy crap, I did it. I was practicing this a little bit beforehand, and I could not get it for the life of me. This game is gruelingly difficult, and there's a strategy, so, like, this is the very first thing you want to do. If you miss all 10 gems, just start over. But now that we're the little jetpack dude, we want to get our ship back, so we gotta go back to the main ship and plop in here. So yeah, you have 4 lives, 4 ships, 4 spaceman dudes. And your ship can explode and you can always get it back. And you got these little things, and it's kind of open world-ish. Well, they're levels, it's not open world. But it's open exploration, and there's upgrades, there's a whole shop system, and it's complicated too. But we'll get more into that later on. So obviously it's not really much to watch, but here's the legs, as my dad always said. He'd be like, you gotta get the legs first. I don't know, I guess it does look like a pair of legs, which is oddly suggestive too, but it's actually probes. So you bring it back to the mothership thing, and then your probes are now equipped with shields. Oh yeah, we're in the probe. Now we have shields. You press down to activate them. So there you go. Now when we bump into walls like a maniac because we can't fight the gravity appropriately, we'll take less damage. You notice the F is your fuel, the F bar, but it's also your health. And W is basically one-hit kill spaceman health. I don't know what the W actually stands for, and I think in later planets it actually has more of a purpose, but I can't remember. So this is just money. It's a collectible thing. But this is unique because I can't think of another game where you had to fight gravity like this. I think there's a game called Thrust that people compared it to, but this game got decent reviews, but everybody craps on its difficulty because it is tough. But my dad and I had the manual and all the passwords, and I used to watch my dad play this all the time. I don't know that he ever beat it. I never beat it. Last time I was in England playing on Xbox, I was playing Rare Replay, and I almost recorded this whole game then. I wish I kind of kept that footage, actually, but... It's tough. I can get to, like, stage 4 or 5, and then it just starts to get brutal, because there's a... I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get there. But yeah, when your shields are up, you can't grab these parts with your tow cable. It's automatic normally, but it actually adds a cool strategy to it, though. This first planet is not really that big of a deal because the gravity is manageable. That's why it's called Prelude On. It's just to show you what it's all about. So your objective in every planet is to fuel up the mothership and then find a piece of the golden warship, because the subtitle of this game, it's Solar Jetman Hunt for the Golden Warship. So every planet has a piece of the golden ship. And it's in these little orange things. These little wormholes. It's a cool noise, too, that... It was a perfect imitation. So you see that little blinking H or X, whatever you want to call it? This doubles as the mothership, so you can put parts and fuel in any of these wormholes that you see in subsequent levels. Which, yeah, I'm just fighting the gravity to get this box of whatever this is. I don't know, I think it's the fin of the ship. Let's see, you can angle it. There we go. You have found a piece of the golden warship. Now, call me crazy, but I'm gonna blow up my pod here. Because just like that bonus game in the beginning, it's easier to do this next bonus game as the spaceman. There we go. So you just come back up here, and that is the first planet. It's probably all anybody ever plays of this. Collect 10 gems before time catches up. This is very tight. What the heck? My D-pad just spazzed out. No, there's one more. Did I get it? Really? Was that all 10? Oh man, this is actually a good playthrough right now. But then you just pop back in the mothership, and there we go. Other planets will give you the option to continue exploring before you blast off, because you could potentially miss parts and stuff. Which this next planet... Alright, so it's a perfect playthrough so far. But money is key. Which actually, we're about to see that. This is the shop mechanic. There are 2 other ships besides the blue, fat, chubby pod ship that we're flying around. So look at this. We got homing missiles, time bombs, all kinds of stuff. There's a mapping system you might be tempted to buy, but you actually get a map in the next level, so don't waste your money. You actually don't want to buy anything now. You want to rack up your money so that you can buy the next pod ship by stage 4 or 5. So, fire B to exit, and now we're on level 2, Mexomorph, whatever. Gravity 24, we went from 8 to 24, so this planet is a beast, and you're gonna be like fighting everything just to stay in the direction that you want to be flying. But it kind of feels cool. It's a nice challenge, and there's a part here that upgrades your thrusters. So you'll be able to fight the gravity a little bit better. So yeah, we got a free map, we got thrusters, and there's some other stuff here. But the very first thing that is so hidden, what you want to do is launch over here to the right. I'm already going too slow. You gotta be just right. There's gonna be a wormhole. There it is. I missed it. It disappeared. You have just barely enough time to get into that thing, and it puts you in the middle of the map, which is otherwise inaccessible. And there's all kinds of treasures and stuff to bring back. But that's tough too, because you gotta not destroy your ship, bumping into walls and stuff. But you want to do that for maximum money so that you can afford the next ship, because this is like basically the worst ship in the game. And by stage 4 and 5, this game gets brutal. so that next ship actually helps out. But you can't afford it unless you get that wormhole. Or you spend 8 years killing little enemies that drop like plus 25 points, because your points are your money. So here's another treasure. We'll probably just beat this planet and call it a video. Planet 3, like I said, back when I was in England playing this on Rare Replay, I had it kind of memorized pretty well. But see, there's no map on screen, and even when you get the mapping data, it's not that helpful. Determinon, phenomenon, existenon. Easter Island heads. So yeah, it's a nice chunk of money from that. So that's what we do. We collect treasure and parts for your ship, and strategically try to buy upgrades from that shop. But, as we'll see when we beat this planet, assuming I can, the shop is only accessible every other planet. So, as tempted as you might be to buy some homing missiles or something, after this planet, you can't. You gotta wait till after Planet 3 now. So that's just another thing to like make it extra difficult and kind of stupid, honestly. But these are the thrusters. If you try to grab this, look at, I'm not moving anywhere. So what you want to do is put your shields back on and get some momentum. Take off your shield as the momentum's going, and then all of a sudden we're dragging it with more force. It feels good to fight the gravity a little bit. That actually worked out beautifully, that momentum. You now have equipped your probes with boosters. Press select while holding B to thrust. I'm not going to do it because it burns through your fuel, but that's a good way to tug along real heavy parts. So now this 24 gravity or whatever it is, we can fight it a little bit better. Yeah, these things pull you in. There's orange ones that are even more brutal, too. Or they push you away. The blue ones pull you in, the orange ones push you away. These little globe things. But yeah, back when the NES was all there was, this was kind of like a big, long adventure, with passwords to write down in the instruction booklet and come back to later, come back and watch your dad. Like, who knows what any of this stuff is actually called. Like I was saying when my dad was like, you gotta get the legs first. This was back in the days where whatever random shape appeared on screen, you called it something of your own. Like the weird Wizoo machine or Spike Jr. Or any of the random crap I say half the time. I don't know the difference between the orange and the blue gems, if there is. Probably just a value difference. I'm low on fuel, so now at any time you could just dunk back in the mothership thing and fuel up. So, yeah, where the heck do we go? We got everything on the right, I believe, so we gotta go to the left and down into the main chasm of this thing. And then just hope that the 4:3 ratio that barely shows you anything, and the lack of a map, you can find some fuel and go off of your memory, too. Because that's what you gotta do in this game. You gotta play it and be like, what the heck am I even doing? And then keep playing it until you memorize it. It's kind of the NES way. The only way you can have fun with some of these games is to struggle through them the first 20 times until you at least learn levels 1 and 2. So I wouldn't say it's a fantastic game by any means, but I do kind of think it's got a level of genius here and innovation. If only it was a little bit easier, and if only, like, if there's a mod for this game that has a map on screen, or widescreen, this game in 16:9 with a map would be wonders. It would be so much easier. I mean, it's already brutally difficult, but that would help so much. I think I missed some fuel up here, like on the top left of the green. Yep. And you may have noticed a wormhole down there, so we don't have to go up to the mothership. We can just drop down here. Although I'm dropping too fast. Gotta put those shields on before you bump. I mean, you don't have to, but then your fuel meter will go down so bad. So yeah, you see I'm like dancing with it. Put the shields on to stop, and then build up momentum, take it off just in time, and well, the idea was to hook it in there, but gravity has its own thing. It's kind of ridiculous. All the noises. There we go, hooked it in. You need more fuel to leave this planet. Yeah, there's like one or two more. And as you would guess, as you get further in, your ship starts off with no fuel, and you gotta find like 5 or 6 of those things. In more treacherous territory, too. Oh, here we go, there's an orange one. Oh, this is fuel. All you gotta do is shoot it. Just shoot it, Fox. So there we go, got a free refill, and there was a free pod ship too in case we blow up. There's, I think, the last fuel. We didn't get the mapping data yet, though. Which is down at the bottom left of this planet. How would you know that? You gotta just play it. Or use a guide online or something. I don't even think the instruction booklet had any maps or anything. Oh, man. Yeah, see, this thing is pushing me so far away. I can't even get close to it. It's just, there's like a huge radius. Like if you picture a big circle of impenetrable barrier, and then occasionally you can squeeze through it like jelly, and then it just pushes you back out. So it probably would be best to go around rather than dance with that thing until it pops. So yeah, obviously, like, it's kind of lacking a decent soundtrack, aside from the opening title music. The mapping data screen has a soothing theme. I wouldn't say it's amazing or anything. I'll show it off when we get it, but... yeah, so to watch, I don't know how this is going to be to watch, but, like, playing it, it's like... you're dancing with pressing select and the thruster at the same time, fighting the gravity, and it kind of hooks you in a little bit. To an extent. Like, I am starting to get bored here, but... I think the first 2 planets are pretty well done. You've collected enough fuel, now find the ship part. Yeah, where the heck is that? We still didn't get the mapping data, though. So that's the thing, I could go for the ship part and miss the mapping data, but that would be a huge mistake. If beating the game was your intention. But I think there's a lot of NES games where you just play it for a little bit and then die and give up, or just turn it off. And very rarely do you ever actually beat the game. But here it is, this is the map. Navigators, I believe, is what it's called. And it might only be for the probes. So if your thing pops and you're the little spaceman guy, you might not be able to use the mapping data. I can't remember. So, strategy. I was almost dead, so I figured pop it on the free ship. But yeah, this was just one of those games that I remember from my childhood. Like I said, one of my earliest gaming memories, just sitting there in the living room watching my dad play this late at night, or what felt like late at night. And I remember being ready with a pen or a pencil for the next password to write it down, and just like, you have equipped your probes with navigators. Yeah, so now start select, I believe. Yeah, start as pause. There it is. So this is the only other, like, song in the game, aside from all the boom, 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 boom planet stuff. But you'll notice the map was just kind of like, what even is that? And it's not even the whole planet. So you kind of have to go a little bit of the way and memorize the terrain a bit, and then pull it up and see what else is new on the map. And I think there's a separate upgrade. Those things hurt. There's a separate upgrade that shows you treasures on the map, I think. Unless it comes with that by default, but I think that it's a separate thing. But yeah, I miss those days. Being so little there, rooting for my dad, be like, you could do it, whatever's going on. See? There's a little cavern to the right now that leads to more of the map. But yeah, I remember these things flying in just at random, shooting pellets on the screen, and somehow you gotta dodge them. Especially, because they're one-hit kill if you're the spaceman guy. Okay, so I don't know where we are. I don't know where the ship part is, if I'm being honest. I forget. And that's not helping anything. Oh wait, it's right there. You gotta destroy these things. See it? The wormhole. Well, there you go. One-hit kill as the spaceman. 3 lives left. This pretty much... You don't ever want to lose a guy until, like, stage 4 or 5, if you can. Like, it gets that much more difficult where it matters to keep all of your lives as long as possible. Alright, we are smacking them. I hear noises. There we go. Just that deep ending. And the gravity in here is different. It was the same in the first level, too. You notice how light it is. I barely have to thrust and I go flying. So it's interesting to see the different environments, the different ship parts, the different gravity that you gotta fight. It's just a shame that it ramps up so much in difficulty. And these days, with our attention spans and how spoiled we are on what games can do, I don't know how fun it actually is long term. I wonder if my dad still has the instruction booklet and the box for this. He probably got rid of it all. I know we had a big Tupperware thing. Not Tupperware, that's for food. Those like Rubbermaid containers, you know? Just full of NES boxes and booklets. But probably at some point when he moved, he got rid of that stuff. Just, he probably factored it in as junk. There we go, we got another piece of the Golden Warship. I forget how many levels there are, but eventually that thing completes a picture of a ship, and then the final stage, you fly the thing, and it's the final boss, and it's super tough, and the music is cool for that part, but that's all I remember. So, yeah, maybe my dad did beat it, unless he just looked up passwords. But back then, you had to get the passwords from magazines or something. So same deal, different environment, I think, though. Yeah. It's a neat game. If ever you're in the mood for NES games that take a lot of your time, but are satisfying and rewarding to do, like this is one of them. Yeah! if I didn't miss that wormhole, this would be a pretty good playthrough so far. But I definitely missed some stuff on that planet. We got the mapping data though, that's the key thing. So I guess we'll see a little bit of this next planet. I'll show you how you can't buy anything. Like now we're sitting on some decent money, but the shop is gonna be inaccessible until after the next planet now. Which is kind of a weird choice, but... See, right into it. Ome brew. Gravity 16, so a little bit less than what we were just on. The music for all of these intro screens is different too. We're still in Sector 1. So yeah, it's a long game. And it's not easy at all. But I know there's a Nintendo Complete video out there where he played through the whole thing. Oh yeah, this is the Boingy song. I remember this. Yeah, with the teeth on the wall, the crystals. This just takes me back, man. Just like I remember my dad in this level a lot. Whoops. Yeah, I'm on. What did I do? I was trying to pull up the map. On Retro Arch. What? Yeah, see, it just gets weird. You got purple and then monochrome stuff and then bright orange. It's weird. I'm sure this level would trip you out if you were on something. Just the music and everything, just random boing noises. But anyway, that's all for this video. I'm not gonna keep torturing you with kind of the same old stuff. It's a game you gotta feel for yourself, too. But thanks for watching, and take care.